The Children's Safety Center started over 25 years ago as a grassroots organization because community members cared about at-risk children.
The Children's Safety Center is designed as an advocacy center where we assist those providing the child abuse investigations, for instance, the forensic interviews, the forensic medical exams. We provide on-site trauma therapy, and all of our services are free. As Executive Director of the Children's Safety Center, I also get to observe the team as a whole. I see it takes the whole team, and we all bring our strengths to work together to make sure that child, once they walk in our door, that we're able to provide any and all services so that they can begin their healing process.
When a family first arrives at the center, they are assigned an advocate, and then from that day, they can have a start date, but there's no expiration date of when our services as advocates end. So that includes going to court with them, doing home visits with the child, helping them pay any bills that they might have. I think advocacy is important because we see a lot of families that don't have any other family support, and so we are the person, or we're the people, we're the center, we're the place where they can fall back on and rely on for any of their needs. It could be a little overwhelming to see all the handprints as soon as they come in, but it also puts in perspective that it's a real issue that's going on within our community.
A forensic interview is a neutral, fact-finding conversation with a child. Trauma can enhance or diminish a child's ability to tell their story. So the art of forensic interviewing is being able to recognize those enhanced or diminished traumas, and then using our science, our skills, our trainings to make a connection with that child so that they can tell their story. I was having a conversation with a young lady, and she drew at first head with a dress and some legs and arms, and she looked at the drawing and she said, "I drew you." And I said, well, tell me about it. And then she looked at the drawing, looked back at me, looked at the drawing, and she said, "It's missing something." And then she drew angel wings on it and put a halo on it. She said, "Well, you're the first person that's ever believed me." And I felt comfortable telling my story too. So I was her angel that day.
The medical exam is a time for the parent and caregiver to meet with a medical professional to talk about their overall health and well-being. They'll get a head-to-toe exam, and we'll thoroughly check out their body and make sure they're okay. We'll do lab testing, make sure they don't have any infections. We'll do lots of education about any concerns that they may have or different safety precautions that they can take. A lot of times these kids aren't at a cognitive age or have the ability to know that just because something terrible happened to them, that they aren't any different. And we get to let them know that they aren't any different than anybody else, and that they are okay, and that they are healthy and normal.
We offer trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, or TFCBT. We also offer EMDR and CPP. So one of the great things about our mental health program here at the Children's Safety Center is that we don't charge insurance. And with that being said, that means that we can see clients for as long as they need, whenever they need. And so a lot of times kids will come here and they're little, they're 6, they're 7, and we've had kids come back later on in their teens, and we're able to see them and there's no questions asked.
We also do sexual abuse prevention trainings, and so that is really, really close to my heart. I think that it's just so important and valuable for any parent to, to become really knowledgeable about signs to look for, as well as like how to talk to your kids about body safety. Abuse does not discriminate. It can happen anywhere, any community, any organization, and so we as adults, it's our job to protect kids, and it's our responsibility. And so we have to learn the tools to be able to do that. And it's also ever changing. So some of the trainings that we offer are mandated reporter trainings. We also offer curriculums for children. And so I've been able to go into the schools and educate and train all of the school counselors here in Washington County on a curriculum called Empower Me. We started at the end of 2022 incorporating a new curriculum called the Monique Burr Teen Safety Matters into our local schools in Washington County. And one of our other staff members has been able to incorporate that into several different schools, and it is a fantastic curriculum. The prevention education that we can provide here through the Children's Safety Center really is so far-reaching, and will reach many more children than just the ones that we may have contact with.
When a child comes to the center, after their interview and if they had a medical or whatever. But after all that hard process is done, we like to end on a better note. So we always do a handprint with them. It just symbolizes to them, and I think it's part of their healing, that it makes them not feel alone. Like there's other kids that have gone through this, and it's just good for them to see that they're not alone, and their whole visit on a better note.
What the center means to me is a place I could walk in a very vulnerable time in my life and know that I wasn't going to be judged and that there were people on my side. As soon as you walk in, you're assigned an advocate, and they're with you, not just from your start date, but there really is no expiration date on that, and they're going to continue to pour into you and love you, and whatever that means, or if you need free service or you need people to go to court with you, and I think that's something really cool. I came here, I guess, about 5 years ago with a case of my own, and going through the forensic interviews and court was something really scary, but I knew like I had essentially someone holding my hand along the way, and also like being old enough to understand like this was like a big deal and there was a lot of things that went along. It took a weight off my shoulders as a kid, knowing that like my parents had people that were gonna help them along the way, and just like it helped me like take a deep breath and realize like this isn't any of our faults, like it was because of someone else's wrongdoing, but like we get to be together as a family and walk through that.